The Rockets get the steal. They go on the other end. James Harden looking for contact. None there. No call on the play. Then Chris Paul bumps out of bounds, and it's an issue with the referee. More on this a little later as well. Chris Paul ejected. Did he make contact or not? Something we're going to have to look into further. 17 points for Chris Paul, hits the showers with 4 seconds to go. And the Houston Rockets fall to the Golden State Warriors 104-100. Following the game, James Harden and Draymond Green, a little back and forth with those two about the situations with the foul calls or non-calls.
I just want a fair chance, man. Call the game how it's supposed to be called, and that's it. And I'll live with the results. But when you, especially we all know what happened, a few years back with Kawhi, like that can change an entire series. Just call the game how it's supposed to be called, and we'll live with the results. And it's plain and simple.
No, I'm a contested shot. Like I contest shot. When you land 3 feet ahead of where you shoot the ball from, that ain't really my issue. So it is what it is.
Let's welcome in Joe Borgia, Senior Vice President, Replay and Referee Operations. Okay, Joe, one of the hot topics from today's games had to do with defenders closing out on shooters. Joe, can you walk us through what constitutes a foul in these cases and what constitutes good defense?
Yeah, Chris, these are very difficult plays for officials. You're talking with an offensive player taking a jump shot, moving forward. You're talking about a defender. Is he jumping towards the shooter, to the side of the shooter? But the rule is a defender, he is not allowed to jump towards the jump shooter and take away what would be that jump shooter's landing area, basically under normal circumstances. So what we're going to see is this first play here. James Harden's going to take the shot, and Klay Thompson is going to close out on him. Now, Thompson, when he comes, he goes directly towards Harden, and he basically makes contact with him before James lands. You can see the contact on his hip and his legs. Therefore, that should be a foul. Now, there's another play late in the fourth quarter where Draymond Green is guarding James Harden, and we have a similar type of shot. But this play is a little bit different because you're going to see Draymond Green doesn't jump directly towards Harden. He's jumping in front of Harden, trying to go across from him. Now, the question is, the officials have to decide, would Draymond contact Harden before he lands under normal conditions? Probably not on that play. The contact on this play, if you watch it close, is Harden. You see him sort of jackknife at his waist, and he brings his legs a little farther than he did on the first shot. And the only contact is with his feet down there at his lower legs. So in our opinion, Draymond would not have contacted James under normal conditions. He did not take away his landing area. So we felt that was a correct no call on that play.
Certainly seems like it's a difficult play to call in the heat of the moment, especially just with your own 2 eyes. Joe Borgia, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Fish, the Rockets shot 29 free throws, and it seems like they know how to initiate that contact. But in some of these situations, it seems like that's part of the problem, is that they are initiating the contact.
Yes, and I think in the postseason, the referees, they try and assess, okay, how the regular season has been officiated, what things we can maybe do better. When you get 2 really good teams, you don't want the game to be decided by foul calls every couple minutes. So when that offensive player is moving forward in a way that's almost a little unnatural, I think that's when the referees decide that that should be more of a no call. And I agree with Joe Borgia, which is rare for a coach to agree with an official, but I do agree with his assessment.
Karan, when we look at Chris Paul and that play that got him ejected at the end of the game, I mean, that seems like a very serious situation in the sense that if he made contact and if it was intentional, there's a possibility for suspension. What do you see here for Chris Paul?
Look, I looked at this play, time and time again, over 10 times, and watched it in slow motion, watched it in real time, and I don't see anything, super glaring about this situation. He was trying to get the attention of the official, let him know there was a contact. I don't know if that's Klay Thompson and him, but, he cut him off, and at the same time just trying to make him aware of he had got fouled in that instance. So I don't think it's a big deal.